Hello everyone, and welcome to the Spodio stream, and welcome to the final week of Skyward Series action. I'm Spodio Sia, and joining me here is aFiestyTaquito. We've got one best of 5, and this one is for the number 1 seed, ODU Monarchs Silver, Monarchs 35 Carbon.
And what a game. What a game we're here for. And of course, shout out to the Flip Out for I mean practically begging both of us to do this game for him. But what a game to be here for. Both of these teams, very similar schedule or very similar records, very similar skill levels, skill sets here. The only thing that you were telling me that's separating these guys really is that game differential, and that game differential kind of a big gap.
It is at this point though, but it won't matter because both these teams are 6-1, so it's not going to make a difference who it is. But in case you're wondering, ODU Monarchs do win on game differential here, so if they were to be knocked down, it actually would be better for them. Although again, how much of that is actually going to matter doesn't really. It's not really what the focus of these teams are. It's to win this match, take the number 1 seed, because the number 1 seed out of this group will automatically go to the top 8 bracket. And with how we know the wildcard can be, it can be an absolute chaos in the wild card. This win really is going to be important no matter who gets it.
And that's exactly what we need to focus on, is who is going to get the win. And obviously, we gotta be honest here. I know you're rooting for 100 by 35 Carbon. Let's be real.
I'm not biased here. Don't put words in my mouth.
I am not biased
I'm
here.
not biased here. Why are you Don't put words in my mouth. Yes, I know I'm on that org. That doesn't make a difference. I want to see the better team win here. I don't really have a preference on this. I just want to see some good Rocket League.
All right. Seeing as I'm not on the org with you, I gotta show a little bit of bias. I gotta rock the score for a cure. The Flip Out original tournament starting here. I gotta go with my boy. I gotta pray that the ODU Monarchs pull this one out. But if there is one thing that I am fully aware of when it comes to anybody rocking the tag 100 by 35, is that they're coming with the heat. This organization
wait. Taquito, I think I accidentally muted you there. Do you want to?
Oh.
I'm joking, I didn't. But yeah, we got this series coming up here. Again, I know you have your opinion. I do also love Score for Cure. I loved those tournaments in the past. I still love them now, even though I don't know when the next one's going to happen, but we'll find out soon enough here. Let's take a look at our upcoming schedule. After this matchup, we'll have Dunamis Samurai, DNA Ice B later tonight. Beforehand, we'd have TN White, Theo Senosha Esports, and that was an insane matchup. Game 5 thriller. We'll see if this match can live up to that hype. I know already there's a lot of people looking at this because, again, as you said, number 1 seed on the line. And again, your predictions, I think, are on ODU. I would have to say, I think ODU as well have the bias? The advantage. And maybe the bias in 50's case, but definitely the advantage. I would say in this series, they have the better game differential, and I've seen both these teams play. And I will say, if they're on points, ODU Monarchs won't lose to anybody in the season. The question is, are they on their point? They did just get back to college and are on the strong setups. I don't know how much they've been grinding recently, but we'll see about that, and especially when it comes to contending against the 135 Carbon offense. I mean, just look at the players they have here. This is an aggressive roster.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. I recognize OK Tiny and Rando. Yeah. This is a squad, 40. This is an absolute squad. So we've got Kilowatt, Lethics, and Flip Out for the Monarchs, but Chances, Zelly, Rando, and OK Tiny rocking the Team Carbon tag. Now, what is it you could tell me about some of these players over on Carbon? You got any inside info?
I do. And again, we talked about offense. Let's talk about offense here. Rando and Tiny, ironically, the players that you mentioned first, both of them averaging well over a goal per game here. But on the other side, ODU Monarchs, they also have 2 players averaging over a goal per game. And of course, it's Keo and Lefix here who have it here. And Keo actually probably one of the front runners this season to get that MVP award. 1.48 goals per game here. And that is a lot of goals per game, and for a player who's been playing, and again, generally speaking, when players have a rating like that, they generally like subs. They don't play as many games, so they have like one really good performance, and then that's kind of what they carry off with them. No, he's been playing all season long. This is Keo, who's been playing almost every single series. So, I mean, to have a guy who plays as often and still be one of the best when it comes to scoring and again averaging so many games that he does. Trying to see again I know already the only player I can know that does it. Advance, that has more games above him is Zenith, but I believe he is their 5th player, so he's their sub. Again, that shows just how consistent this guy is. when he's playing almost every single week, he's averaging almost 1.5 goals.
That's an insane stat spread, especially given given the teams and what both are bringing to the table here. That is, I mean, that's genuinely kind of scary. You've got to take into account the fact that a lot of us may sleep on people with high scoring stats, and maybe they don't have the good assist stat or the save stat, but ladies and gentlemen, you've got to really focus on the fact that strikers up until GC2 and beyond really matter. It's the defensive players and the midfield players at these ranks, probably mid to high GC1, that I think matter more, in my opinion. So having a squad like Carbon here, if they're better on the day, they're better on the day, and the stats can say that they could be better on the day to day.
They could, again, as you said, it's a close one here. There's, again, only a few players who rank higher than a lot of these guys when it comes to their prolific shooting prowess. I mean, it's one thing to be good at shooting on the stat line. It's another to be consistent with it, and all these players have shown that here. As we're just kind of setting things up for the series, what will be an incredible best of 5, what will determine, seeding privileges. Because remember, whoever doesn't get the number 1 seed has to go through the wild card, and that's going to be a tough route, because in the wild card, it's single elimination, 2 weeks of action. You lose once, you're out, and for Carbon, they really can't afford to do that.
Oh, no. Absolutely not, man. Absolutely not. You don't want to be the team to give advantage to the other. You don't want to have to lose that all-important game that gives you the first seed. And it seems we are waiting for this other squad. They got about... I mean, the clock is about to start ticking on how much time they got to show up, but the Monarchs is the only team we seem to be waiting on right now before we can get this game started, and it's already proven, the anticipation is already high, in my opinion, the way we've kind of set this up. I do believe that just at the end of the day, you're going to have to you're going to have to come out of the gate and swinging. You can't let up. And as long as you start off on the right foot, maybe you make a statement game 1 and it sets a tone for the rest of the series. If you don't do that, you let an opponent with the abilities like Carbon kind of walk all over you, and you let them answer back to what could be your threatening message.
Yeah, and while this happening again, thank you, Isaac, for the follow. Welcome in. As you said again, it's really going to go on to that ODU Monarchs defense that's going to be tested this game. We've seen their defense have really good weeks, and we've seen them have really bad off weeks. I mean, we talked about their last 2 weeks. Against Game 0 and against Swordfish Academy, they almost lost to Game 0. I mean, they swept them, but every game was like a 1-goal difference. They went to overtime with a 0-second goal in one of those games. I mean, it was that close, and that's, Game 0, who are probably not even going to make the playoffs, wildcard this season. That's how inconsistent ODU Monarchs can be, and that's been their number 1 issue, although, again, that was inconsistency back home, back when I believe Flip-Out plays on a laptop, and I believe one of the other players, it's either Keo or Lefix, who plays on console. Obviously, that is also a part of it, but for now, again, the real question is, is that consistency gone? They've come back to, to their university, they've come back to their normal setup, and maybe that will make a difference, and we know how well these guys can play. I said it, these guys, if they play their style, they'll be the best team in the league, no question, but the problem is, can they play their style? Will they play their style this week against a team that is going to put pressure on that back line? Well, for now, let's take a look at that. Let's answer that question here. A best-of-5 series. ODU Monarchs have dominated the league. Carbon have been right up there with them. This match determines the number 1 seed of this group. This match determines a top 8 team. This match determines a playoff contender. And this match determines who will skip the wild card. 1 series. 1 chance to get that number 1 spot. You win and you take it. You lose and you're out. This will make the difference here. ODU Monarchs, 100x35 Carbon. A best of 5. And here we go. ODU Monarchs in the blue, Carbon on the orange. Let's get right into it.
And as we did the car shuffle there for about a solid 30 seconds, it seems the players are finally ready to hit the pitch in what is to be an exciting match ahead of us. By the way, guys, I'm aFiestyTaquito. You're on Sporty FC stream. Welcome in to this Skyward Series match, and it's going to be started off with Rando, the high lob, that soft volley from, that was almost a full field. And they landed in the opposite bottom corner. 100x35 Carbon taking goal number 1.
And that's the scary part about their offense. They will find ways to score. You can't prevent them from scoring. They're just going to do it. That's how good these guys are at scoring. I think the same thing could be said about Monarchs, although they're a little more well-rounded. We'll see if Carbon, again, their major thing is going to be staying away from defense. If they can get out of their own half consistently here, they shouldn't face too many issues. It's really going to be that slow burn of the Monarchs that could really go against them, and they can't let this team take control and hold the midfield as Rando doesn't get that one there. Tiny, challenged by Keo, in front for Lefix. Up is Keo, but his touch will have to go to the back corner as Carbon with Rando will look to clear it away. Carbon and Monarchs both had to play against Swordfish Academy this season. That, team led by Bromek, another team who was fighting for that #1 spot. Obviously can't get it anymore. And it was really a close battle here as that one open for Keo. Save off the line by Tiny. Full up from Lefix. And that's what Carbon can't have. They can't have that ODU Monarch silver pressure get to them.
And I mean, it's tough in that situation. Rando getting knocked into the net right there by OK Tiny. It just seems to be a mix-up on the defense. Maybe some flustered communication right there is kind of what clogged up the channel. But we can't stop to say that it wasn't a great play from the Monarchs. Like, that was exactly what they needed in that moment. They needed that high-pressure situation to kind of get themselves on the board. They equalize early on, too. Off the ceiling is Lethix. Almost finds a goal, but an amazing save by Rando right there. Keo, with a little bit of possession, decides to try to back pass here. Not exactly the worst idea, but I wouldn't say it's the best. You don't want to throw possession into your defensive zone.
You don't want to throw it away to the Carbon. Now, more importantly, I think, and that's really where he's trying to go with those touches. If he can prevent Carbon from keeping the ball, that's going to be a success in his own right. As now, demo in the backfield, Rando, pinch red, it's Lefix still. And ODU Monarchs demoing through the Carbon defense. And I said Carbon, their big thing is to stay off of defense, because right now their offense has been strong. Their defense is going to struggle here against the Monarchs play.
Excellent play by Flip Out. I have to give credit where credit is due there. I kind of thought OK Tiny was actually going to double demo. I thought both of them had a good amount of speed there, but that's okay. They clean up the goal right there, immediately equalize, back on the board. You can't let the lead go too far, and Lethix, with the awkward kickoff right there, is what is going to give up that goal number 2.
And as I was saying earlier about these teams, again, they both have played against Swordfish Academy this season already. That team led by Bromek, a very defensive side. Much more defensive than these two teams are. And it does, I mean, we had different results between these teams. Monarchs played them earlier. Off the stream, they lost in Game 5 to that team. But Carbon, their offense was as dominant as you think it's going to be. It was one that took a Frio sweep versus Swordfish. So, I mean, what we've seen from these guys is that, again, their offense is one that is tough to break down, but hesitation! It's an easy one for Lefix. Nobody was there to stop him.
Amazing bump, dude. Look at that. Keo on the defensive rotation. They're rotating out wide. 2 players caught on that same side. I couldn't see who else it was. It was Chances and somebody else. But you got to spread out your team. You got to give your teammates space. You can't be so close together. And if we can see from Flip Out, look at Flip Out just activating the demolition demon inside of himself to get these lanes opened up. But the defense is definitely heating up on the side of Carbon. Wonderful clear that they needed for that moment of brevity, but how long will it last? How long is the stay in the blue side?
Chances. I get out of his back end. Keo sending it right towards net. That net has been left open a couple times by Carbon, but it does seem like they clean things up here as long as they have someone waiting. They need that offense. They need it soon, and right now they're just getting outplaced. It feels. It does feel like, the pressure's starting to get to these guys, and surprising again for a team who can get on offense so easily usually. To see them struggle here as now Keo, free shot! That one just kept out by OK Tiny, and Carbon will look to go the other way. Chances. Trying to get through Lefix, but he ran out of space to use. Tiny now gets past one, Flip Out to the corner. Monarchs looking for more demos. Infield touch! Chances jumps up in time. Carbon having to play defense simulator over and over again, but the pressure, let them go the other way. Chances! That's stopped by Lefix, as Carbon will look to hold on to the offense further. Miscommunication. Left upfield. Rando, Chances, both jumping. Tiny looking for the shot. It's Lefix who has that one out. And this one left in the midfield as Carbon will look to pick up the pieces. The pressure against them really seems like it's unlocking this team to, play even better. I mean, as you've heard, I think before, pressure makes diamonds, and you know what is in diamonds? That's right, it's Carbon, and Monarchs will have a tough thing to do here to get past the team as this Carbon side gets more and more used to them.
That's just it. You don't want to heat up Carbon, guys. Like Sporty just said, the more pressure you put on Carbon, it becomes diamonds. And that's exactly what we're going to see here with this team. But right now, what an excellent chance at a play right there. Flip out, definitely missing the mark. However, it is just so tough. I think the aggression that has come out from the Silver Monarch side, it kind of chinked the mental armor that was on the side of Carbon at the beginning of this game, and I think that's what's flustered them to the point. Wait, hold on! It's a breakaway play, and the pressure and everything has been dissipated.
You heard what I said. You heard what I said. They're diamonds, all right. Rando baits past left fix, and with 4 seconds to go, Carbon tie this thing up. And as you said, all the good things that ODU Monarch Silver have done, it doesn't matter when Carbon is finding goals this quickly. They will transition quickly. They'll score just as fast. And the creativity of this Carbon team is one thing you have to be scared of, as this ball staying up for now, but it will hit the ground. And for game 1, we head to overtime.
That's exactly where you want to be, too. You want to be in overtime. Excellent play from Carbon to actually get that breakaway goal, to put the tying score on the scoreboard. That is a dangerous ball to just let float towards the crossbar, Tiny. I feel like you need to jump a little bit quicker. Chances taking the demo, at least alleviating that offense for just a moment, Tiny. Gonna have to turn quick here. And it just is decision after decision for this Carbon squad that they have to make quickly. They can't just lay in wait. They've also got to move. And that's exactly what I think is hurting them right now. They get caught sitting still in crucial moments, and it's just, they're going to get punished for it. They almost do right there. Luckily, Keo misses the shot. However, this is still not, it doesn't feel like Carbon's ball game, if I'm being honest.
And the reason why is because Monarchs are heavily prioritizing that boost game right now. They're stealing those corner boosts, and they're demoing Carbon out as well when they can. It's a game based on boost, based on control, and right now Monarchs, as you said, have won that battle. The thing that Carbon is trying to do, though, less of, is a lot of times when they clear that ball away, they're trying to move up with it, but you can't do that when every single touch they have out of defense is a clear. Instead, they're waiting for the 50s, they're waiting for their opportunities to slowly show themselves, to get their chances upfield, because they're not going to have many of them against ODU Monarchs. But if they can get one, maybe that'll be it as Rando! He's missed it! It's Keo's goal! And ODU Monarch Silver will take game 1 just like that.
Oh, no. And it was the attempted bump by Lethix that, again, opened up that lane in the back line that gave Monarchs the goal. That will be 1 game on the scoreboard to the side of ODU, but let us not overstate that it took overtime for Monarchs Silver to get game number 1. If that doesn't tell you anything, Sporty, I don't know what does.
I said, watch out for Carbon. This is a team that has a scary offense. I mean, only 7 shots, but 3 goals in that. It took Monarchs, to get 4 goals. It took them 16 shots to get that. So, I mean, even though Monarchs have held control, Carbon, they're finding opportunities when they get them. Now, they just need to create those chances, though. That's the problem. This Monarch Silver team, again, I believe it's one of the highest ranked teams in this division, and obviously, you can see that is a pretty important factor to why they're being so successful, but I was going to have to deal with the fact that Carbon, they sit a lot on defense, and a lot of times when they clear it away, and I want to make this a distinction here, Taquito. You said you want them to move. I say I actually want them to wait a little bit more. Because whenever they clear the ball away, they get way too excited to try to push up with it. And it's causing them to overcommit a lot when they try to break out and get for that midfield, because simply put, all these touches out of defense are clears. They're not controlled touches. They can't move out when they clear. So I need to see them find passes, find plays that look for each other, rather than just running out with the ball ahead of them.
Okay, I like that. So your counterpoint is, instead of moving around and trying to dodge the demos, play the possession more. I can get behind that. They need to stop letting Flip Out get demos, because at this point, Flip Out is going to have an X-term in one of these games. I don't know which one it's going to be, but it's going to be one. Keo off of the sidewall. This is going to be Lethix up as well. Okay, Tiny bumping Rando out of the way. Chances with an opportunity. That's a good pop. That's an even better demo. But Lethix is right there just in time to save it away. But the opportunity for offense is still very much alive on the side of Carbon. Out of the corner to the mid. Rando with the shot, but it's wide. Okay, Tiny will try to take possession here. Maybe Rando with one, and it's in with the extra generous touch from OK Tiny. And we see what happens when you put Carbon under pressure.
And that's what they needed to do. They needed to get out of defense and hold the ball. I mean, again, Taquito, I'm not disagreeing with you on the fact they're moving. They're moving on offense, but they need to hold that ball close to them, and you saw them not play to make that offense. It was a dribble. It was a shot from the midfield and a demo that allowed them to do it. As the other follow-up chance, that's just off the crossbar. ODU Monarchs getting so close, but yet they still can't mind a chance. But again, eventually, as these plays keep coming in from Monarchs, Carbon, they're going to give up something. They're going to need a second goal if they want to really feel a little more comfortable.
You want comfortability, though? I mean, right now, it seems if you put Carbon in those awkward situations, that they're going to turn it into something excellent. But again, they're all pushing up in that they get that over-eager offense that we just saw. Everybody was up extremely close right there, and I don't think they needed to be. It's afforded to them because unfortunately ODU could not turn that transitional defense into a really good offense in that moment in time, but they are able to skate one by here. I mean, just what, about 40 seconds after the first goal went in, and now they've already tied up game number 2.
I think we just saw WWE there with Flip Out's RKO move in front of that net. Smashed right through that last defender. And that is Monarch Silver who tied things up, and their demos are succeeding. They are hitting the mark. I mean, there's nothing else you can take away from that offense. It's the fact that it hasn't really been the shooting for them. It's been the demos. It's been their other forms of aggression. They're looking through Carbon, who, again, are having to meet them every single time when they're trying to clear the ball away. It's met with someone, but that's a great pass from Tiny. Rando, one-on-one, free chance, going for the back post. Rando's hit it. It's 2-1. Carbon with an opportunity, and that's what they make of it.
Exactly. That's exactly what they make of it. They look at the excellent patience right there. Literally, I mean, it just goes to show how Carbon is playing under these situations. They've already lost game number 1. It was in overtime. It's a tough loss. Anytime you lose an OT game, it's always pretty tough, but they're bouncing back wonderfully. The issue I think I'm gonna have, and we're gonna continue to see, is that they played excellent defense game number 1. Can they step up their midfield control here in game number 2? Can they shut down this Monarch Silver squad?
And it's going to come to demos, as you mentioned, Taquito. It's going to come to them avoiding a lot of positions where they're going to be easily demoed. They can hold the ball. They can surely get rid of those opportunities as OK Tiny does it here to the side wall. Keo jumping, faked under. The shot will be kept away. As Carbon going to hold their chance. But here comes Flip Out. Chances getting bumped away as Lethix towards the nets. OK Tiny blocks. Flip Out jumping all by himself, but that first touch gets away from him. It's an easy clear here as 135 Carbon, only 135 team, I believe, in this All-Star 3v3 division. And again, they're making that org proud right now against a team that, against the Monarchs team where the question is if they sweep or not every single week. They're actually making it a question of if they're going to even win with how close they're keeping it with 2 minutes to go. ODU Monarchs holding offense, but Carbon holding their nerve.
They're definitely playing it cool for being down a goal right now. I will give ODU that kind of credit. They're playing just very, very calm. They're approaching a lot of these situations, but I think now we need to argue about their version of possession. I think ODU is now taking the role of being anxious on that offensive drive, and they need to kind of slow it down just a little bit. That's an excellent mix-up on the shot from Flip Out, who goes again, turns for the bump in the net, but it's not as successful as he wanted it to be, as they're still playing the defense here. Good bump from Keo to disrupt the goalie. They're trying to get something moving here, but they haven't disrupted it enough. Rando will have to play this smart off the back wall. Not the best of touches, but it's just out of threatening territory enough for them to try to move forward. But of course, it's the demolition demon himself, Flip Out, to take care of him.
Yeah, and Flip Out, he's generally been one of the players that people haven't talked a lot about on this roster. He's the one who has really made this roster come together this game as an infield pass. Carbon, they were all handling on less than 30 boost each, it felt, and that's a great pass to Keo, and from being that close, ODU Monarchs, I mean, they've had multiple opportunities from that range. At some point, some of them are going to go in. It's a tie game.
You're right. Someone's got to go. Someone's got to attack the ball, and I mean... At what point do you make that decision? What point do the comms tell you that it's your turn? If you don't just, make that decision to go and be the playmaker on your squad, when are you going to know when the right time is? You're always laying in wait. You can't wait forever. Okay, Tiny is stuck having to go backwards. Oh, no.
And here comes Flip Out again, and as you said, where is that attack? Someone needs to push it from Carbon. The problem is, they can't attack, because simply put, ODU Monarch Silver are playing faster, are playing more confident, and Carbon has to deal with that. They just can't seem to find a way through, as now, Flip Out to the back wall, Chances, gonna clear it away. Now Chances gets around Lefix, the 50, with Keo. Bouncing towards net. Lefix should have it. Okay, Tiny waiting. He's missed it.
No.
A giveaway of possession. And ODU Monarchs, that should secure game 2 for them.
That, wow. Poor Tiny, bro. Poor Tiny. Just driving right past that ball, man. Oh, that is just the worst feeling in the world when you have a touch and it's right there and you just miss it. They're going to try to keep it alive. They don't. And ODU Monarchs already staring down the barrel of match point.
This is what they've been doing every single game whenever they can. That's what they've liked to do. And really, it has worked for them every single game. It's, them continuing to put on that pressure, and again, you can see even against the best teams like Carbon who can deal with that pressure, it's still just too much. And for Carbon, there's not much you can really do about it. You just have to watch that pressure because they can't break out. They just don't have enough boost to and enough speed to catch up to this ODU Monarchs offense.
And if we just look at the stats, right, Sporty? If we just take a look at that wonderful stat page you have shown for us here, you can see exactly how ODU won the game. Now, maybe due in part to the 4 demos that Flip Out was rocking there. Maybe. I don't know. But it's also on the ball possession and the field domination. Like, they completely controlled the pace of the game, and that is what I want to see from Carbon. Carbon needs to come out, and they need to just truly get on top of the ball. They need to shut down the midfield. When they do that, I think this becomes a different game.
Well, it's easier said than done, Taquito, and I think Carbon is doing that very well. They want to hold that midfield. You can tell by their play style. They want to be the ones that run the offense. It's a lot, but again, as I said, easier said than done. It's going to be a tough thing to do that when Monarch Silver just feel like they're playing a lot faster than them. Carbon, as I said, I want them to slow things down. I want them to try to play at their own pace, which is one that isn't going to be fast-paced, isn't trying to outpace the Monarchs. Instead, I want to see them accept that they're going to get outpaced, and then try to take things slow. Go for 50s, force Monarchs to play up even more aggressive, because maybe that will open up space here for Carbon to attack. But for now, Carbon already doing with offense, but here comes Rando down the field. Easy stop from Flip Out. And again, one shot, that's all it takes here. Carbon haven't found another opportunity since. Still, they're looking for it. Left fix. Pinch with Rando, looking in the infield. Rando, one more touch. Stopped by Flip Out as it goes straight to him. ODU Monarchs playing possession, but a demo comes through. Should be space for Carbon to find some more offense.
That demo did work. I think Tiny expected it not to happen for whatever reason. And you saw them jump, kind of give up the possession, which is why we're now back in the midfield, just rocking back and forth here. Trying to look for a little bit of ping pong, if you will. Chances. A beautiful save right there. Almost made it look routine. Keo on the jump, trying to bump them out of the way. Sadly did not. But again, this offense still rocking heavy. Chances again on the defense right now, holding down this Carbon squad.
They are. ODU Monarchs are winning the midfield, and you can see Carbon, they're starting to get a bit frustrated on the field. You can tell this team's starting to get very, very bump and demo heavy. They're just trying to eliminate Monarch Silver at this point, but they're having trouble doing his Keo. Second touch, looking for a third! KO's done it! With a sidewall to the back wall! KO, a triple tap, and ODU Monarch Silver take the lead.
Poor Rando. Bumped completely to the corner. I don't know if you caught that or not, but Rando got sent to the opposite side. The goal left wide open, and Keo gets a free play style double off that back wall with the little sidewall pass. I like that touch. And I mean, now it's up to Carbon. Carbon's got to activate. I mean, I think if they activate the same aggression, if they answer back with these demos and these bumps, we'll see something happen for them, but they just don't seem to be playing that kind of style of Rocket League. They're not with the bump heavy, demo heavy kind of play, and I feel like that's where they're getting beat at. They're simply getting beat by the aggression.
Getting beat, I think, just by Monarchs playing better than them at this point. I mean, that's how Monarchs have beaten seemingly everybody else this season. 2-0 now. With less than 3 minutes to go, it already feels like Carbon's chances are limb.
Oh my
Lord! Rando! Oh, he's missed it! That should have been one for Carbon.
The cheat was excellent. What? I can't believe he missed that shot. That's so upsetting. Chances trying to throw one off the back wall here. Little touch from Rando. Excellent play from Keo to send that nice and wide. We're back in the orange. 2-0. Goal is wide open, but the pass is just too wide. Chances gets an opportunity here. They're downfield. They slot it in, but it's off the side. And there's these open net opportunities that just continue to escape the Carbon squad.
I hate to tell you, that net was anything but open. It was a tough angle. There was someone coming on the other side. You could tell there was a pressure on Carbon. But even so, as you said, these missed opportunities. This has been hurting Carbon this game. They're getting some chances. It may not be many, but they haven't ever won when it comes to getting chances on offense this series. And yet they aren't scoring on them here as Keo looking to see if he can get Monarchs their third. Keo, the back wall. Chances trying to find the clear. Carbon looking back, but flip out. Looking forward. Tiny. Up. Joando jumping. Maybe a touch to Chances. Redirect. That's going to go just wide. Another one for Carbon. You can see the creativity is there. But ultimately, the consistency on offense is not. They're only getting one opportunity, and then it's gone. And that's really hurting them here because they cannot get these second chances. Rando now. Left reset. The pinch. That one's blocked as well. Monarch Silver. A brick wall in the backfield.
And again, they look great when they're approaching offense on the side of Carbon, but I think it's just all these bumps, all these demos, all this aggression has truly just beaten down this squad, and it has done wonders for the side of ODU Monarch Silver.
ODU Monarch Silver. I think the question now for this season is, are they going to win the whole thing? That's how good these guys have looked, and again, I think, and there's some questions that, teams usually ask of teams at this level is, why? How do they do this so easily? And Monarch Silver, it just simply is. Again, there's some of the highest ranked players in this league, and they all work together beautifully. This is a team that really has grinded this season to be at the level they're at, to be at the position that he wants to be in. As Keo's not even gonna let it. He's gonna give it to flip out at this point. ODU Monarchs are toying with Carbon. Carbon, I think, has given up already. ODU Monarchs, this will be a field sweep for them unless something drastic happens.
Yeah, I mean, you got 48 seconds. If you get 4 kickoff goals, sure. That's exactly what's going to happen. They get 4 kickoff goals in a row, they're back in this game. There's not one. Lethic's definitely getting that one all the way the other way. Keo off the ceiling. Is that going to drop in? No. It's off the crossbar, down and out. But again, like you said, it is just... It's not okay, man. It is just... It's tough. Like, it is extremely tough to see this happen. The mental absolutely being shattered on the side of Carbon. They just can't keep up with this offense that is ODU Monarch Silver.
And you know what's even crazy about this matchup? Only days before this series, as they will get a goal here for Carbon. Chances will put one in, but as I was saying, only a few days before this series, ODU Monarch Silver. You remember when this roster was a team of 5? You remember when they were 5 players? Yeah, guess what happened to those 2 extra players? They got kicked off the team because of the university. The university kicked them off. It was apparently an admin decision to remove them. So for Monarch Silver, they're coming into this, with a roster that's stunted because they don't have those other extra players. They also had a coach who also got removed. So for this team to have to go through all the adversity they had to go through before this series and to still be this good, that shows a sign of a team that is just better than everyone else. Says a field sweep here. ODU Monarch Silver are back in business against the second team here in Carbon. They are by far the best team, it feels, in the All-Star PvP division.
And I mean, I got no words, brother. Truly have no words. That if we look at everything but game number 3, that series was very close. I just think the pressure off the side of ODU Monarch Silver was way too much to handle, and at the end of it all, Carbon just couldn't step up to the plate after the third game, or after the start of the third game. They were just defeated, and I think that's what hurt them the series. And you got to go back, and maybe you got to watch what you could do better on a replay or something. But like both of us said, it's the control. When you give up control in a game like Rocket League, you can't bounce back. You just let them have it.
As again, what a match that was. But I think for a lot of people there, especially all the people that have seen ODU Monarchs this season, no real major surprises. They sweep again this season. And I also want to say this. I think this is also a non-question now this season. Is this going to be a Premier team next season? I don't think that's a question anymore. I think the answer's going to be a yes, because simply put, nobody on All-Star can stop these guys.
I have to agree with you. We just got it proven to us. Carbon, an excellent team. We can't let this sweep tell us that they're not an excellent team. They're 5-2. You know what I mean? They're not even like down and out. They're still one of the top seeds. But did I just hear everybody join in the call? Is that what just happened?
Yes, we
Think
did.
so.
Oh my
Yes,
god!
sir.
Is that flip out?
Think so.
Oh my gosh! What's going on, guys? Keo, Lethix, how we doing? Is everyone doing okay?
Living,
Oh,
yeah.
We're doing
Doing
good. Yeah.
fantastic.
All right. So how are we feeling as, I guess, what we are now the #1 seed in the All-Star division? How are we feeling?
Pretty good overall. I'm technically we're second seed because NA Demon Hounds went 8-0. Props to them. But yeah, pretty good. I mean, as I've been saying since like week 1, I firmly believe we are the best team in this entire league. And I think that every week we just prove that. We've had players removed from our rosters for staff reasons, and it doesn't matter. We're the best, and we will continue to prove that.
I think that's mic drop, literally.
Yep. I'm taking the villain arc this time. I don't care.
Right, Sporty. How do we follow that one up, man?
I was just going to say again, congratulations on your win here. 50, not 50. 50 is the guy for, I was talking with 50 beforehand. Taquito was trying to make me join on 165. I'm unbiased in this. Here
Good
is.
save.
What do you mean good save? I said it before the match started. There's no
I believe
saving
you.
to be had here. As again a field sweep, you guys have been sweeping everybody this season. To come back to your normal setups here. Leftfix, I know you're here with us, being I believe one of the scariest players this season. You're averaging like over almost 1.5 goals a game, I believe, and for a player that plays almost every single week, that's impressive. That's very, very impressive. Is there anything you want to say kind of about coming back into the Skyward Series, coming back to your normal setups, and can you tell me what it was like to come back into this and make adjustments? Can you maybe elaborate on how you guys were able to come back up to your normal dominant style?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Our chemistry was just on point today. I'd say compared to our last season, it definitely has improved. And we just put in the work, and it clearly showed. And I'm also glad to be, with the boys all in person, being able to communicate, and on a nice PC. So all of that, the combination of all that just definitely helped, me and the entire team could succeed.
Eo, you're the only person who hasn't really talked, man. Help me out here. You pretty much had, probably the best shot of the game. Let's be real, guys. Like, Keo probably knocked down the best clip of the game, right?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, at the end of the day, I think I did, but it really just came down to that bump that Flip Out had to, allow me to have that goal. Because, these guys were great, and if one of them is in the net, they definitely would have saved that. So, I mean, props to Flip Out. I mean, he was doing it the entire series, just the crazy demos, the
Bro,
crazy bumps.
Aggressor.
He is the reason,
averaged
honestly.
4 a game.
Yes, exactly. So he is the reason why we won this game. I know he didn't have a lot of points on
One
the stat
total goal.
sheets. Yeah, he
One
had one
total
goal,
goal.
and even then it was a save from me to him. So
I want to say that was one of the most unselfish things I've ever seen.
Yeah, I
yeah,
That
agree.
save on to flip
My
out.
hero.
I mean, but Keo, for real, all three of you put together, along with let's just like you said, let's call it the demolition demon himself. Flip Out was clearing the back lane for you guys. All three of you, like you said, Lethix, worked really, really well together, and I feel you guys kind of have that boot camp buff. You know what I'm saying? You're all back at the home setup. You're all kind of where you really feel the most comfortable in this setting. And so it showed, like you said, y'all were all locked in. The chemistry was there. Everything looked great. So question is, can you continue that? Can this continue into February when it matters?
Yes.
I think we only get more dangerous after this point.
Now we're playing with vengeance now. We're not losing another game. I actually no. I will say this before I start trash talking again. That's without a doubt the best team we've played in Skyward so far this season, and probably one of the best teams I've ever played. And if we play that again, they could take games off. I mean, I'm not gonna say we're gonna lose, but that is a fantastic team, and I know that a lot of their players are probably gonna be watching this, and props to them. They put up a hella good fight. So I wanted to say that before I start trash talking, because that was the hardest I've personally had to fight for a win. I mean, a lot of my shots just weren't happening, so eventually I was just like, okay, let's just go bump people, and it seemed to work.
Sarcasm, Flip Out just gets carried, so there you go.
Yeah, pretty much. It's been this way. It's been this way my whole career. Let's be real here, Sporty.
I wouldn't say that.
No.
I would not say you've. No, but again, it's just sarcasm. Again, congratulations on your win. A field sweep hero over 125 carbon. Again, a magnificent performance. You guys fairly deserve that top 8 placement into that final bracket. You guys, I'm sure, will be doing just fine there. Again, congratulations on your win here in a very successful season. I've been able to see you guys almost every single week, and well, I'm happy I do, because you guys are dominant in All-Star, and are probably going to be the scariest team when it comes to that final bracket, no matter who makes it in. At least from what I know, you guys are going to be the scariest team there. So again, congrats on that. But before we go, we'll get some quick shoutouts here. We'll just go through the whole roster. Let's start with Keo. Is there any shoutouts you have? Any final statements? I know you guys have done this before, but we might as well do it again.
yeah. I want to give a shout out to my mom. I know her and my dad are watching right now, and they wanted me to do the interviews because I usually don't do them, just because I have stuff to do after, like study. So I want to give a shout out to them, and then I also want to give a shout out to my girlfriend. I know she's watching right now from her Apple CarPlay, so I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, yeah, no, that's crazy. Yeah, she's listening right now, so thank you to you all.
Awesome.
Of course, now we'll go to Leftfix. Is there anything that you'd like to say, Leftfix, here to follow that up?
Oh yeah, I'd like to thank my parents too. They're also watching. And I'd like to shout out this PC. I'm sorry, I love you, Xbox, but PC is just better.
I did tell you
Love
to
you,
get it.
Xbox.
One of these guys was a console player.
Yes.
I remember. So yes, of course, Leftfix. Obviously, back on the PC, you are better on a PC than you are on console, at least from what I remember. So, I think you should definitely love that PC. I love my PC. I was an Xbox player. The PC's way better.
Same.
Can we just all agree? PC's better.
Same.
Oh yeah,
all
sure.
right. There you go. I was gonna say Leftfix is not gonna respond to me. He's here to be non-biased about that. He doesn't want to hurt the Xbox player. Here, as of course, now we'll end things off with Flip Out. Again, leading your team to a top 8 bracket. You've been in the playoffs before, but not on a team that is this highly rated. Is there anything that you'd like to say now before you guys kind of disappear for a little bit and come back in February to play in that top 8 bracket?
I got a few people. Number one, shout out the team. Keo, Leth, and especially Ace, who he had to get removed from the roster just because it was a weird admin decision. I'm not gonna get into it as I'm an admin and also a player. There's a whole bunch of shit going on there. Oh, sorry for swearing. But he was coaching us throughout the game. As he's not here in the boot camp, but I'm being thumbs down by everyone next to me right now. We're all right next to each other, so it's a little funny. But yeah, shout out him. He was in our ear. He was helping me figure out some different stuff just because that was not my best series, and I'll be the first to admit that. Shout out my girlfriend who is watching this. Hopefully, I actually don't know if she turned this series off yet, but it'd be cool if she was still watching. And shout out all the guys here at ODU, and shout out you guys and everyone watching. And I am very happy we get to automatically qualify for playoffs this time because I was not looking forward to the wild card. Now we
Yeah.
have what is it, 2 or 3 weeks to
Give, I believe,
just
2 weeks.
practice?
2 weeks of break, because actually you'll have 3 weeks because of the 2v2 playoffs will be the week before. So
Yep.
actually, you guys won't be playing again until February 3rd. So
Yeah.
have fun with that break. That's gonna be very nice for you guys. Again,
Oh, it
that's gonna
will.
be when the All-Star playoffs are, February 3rd. Expect me to be streaming some of those matches, at least hopefully, at least one of them. I generally don't miss the playoffs for Skyward Series. I think what's nice is it's also not at the same time as ATS is not at the same time as them again, so that's gonna be really nice. Yeah, ATS is the week after that, so nice thing is ATS won't be going at the same time as that tournament, so I'll be seeing some of your matches again. Congrats on that. Congrats on that top 8 placement. A PO sweep here over 135 carbon. You guys, again, we'll see you guys in that top 8 bracket. But for now, have a great night. Take
Yeah,
care.
you
Maybe
too,
we'll
man.
get you
Thank you
guys
for
to
the
play against.
cast.
Maybe we'll get you guys to play against the Premier team soon because I
Yeah,
know
maybe
people in chat-
what we'll do
people in
is
chat want you
Yeah,
guys
let's
to
do a
scrim
show
against
match.
the Premier
That'd
team.
be
we
awesome.
need to,
Because
you know what we
Let's
need
do
to
they want you
Yeah,
guys
you
to
know what we
play
need to do?
a best of 7 against one of the Premier teams, and I think
We
the
need
chat
to
deserves that.
show match Swordfish to prove that the only reason we lost is because
Yeah, I agree with
we
that.
were on
Run it back,
our
run it
home
back, run it back.
PCs.
No.
Run it back, run it back, run it back.
They want to play Swordfish Academy too. So
Instantly.
I love it.
Instantly
I
run it
recommend
back.
a Premier team, and they immediately say no. We're going after the All-Star
Oh
team.
no,
that
we can
beat us.
take Premier Team too. Let's be real
Yo,
here.
Guppy?
Yeah, they're taking the
The
sword-
Guppy
they're
show
taking-
match?
No, we
Yeah.
are not playing Guppies. Please don't.
The Guppy show? Nah,
okay
no,
with
the
that.
Isn't
Guppy
that-
show match is happening.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Well,
I think Carl will decimate me. I don't need that.
I was gonna say,
But yeah, I want to.
team.
If any of the Swordfish guys are watching, hit me up. We'll find time.
I'll definitely
Let's
stream.
go.
I know. At least I think I know one of the Swordfish teams. Messaged me recently about Showmatch. Which one was it? It was not Swordfish. OUG Abstract actually. You guys maybe want to
yeah.
could scrim them. That's a Premier team. So
I'm down.
scream
I'm
any
down
team.
to play whoever, whenever. My
go talk
DMs
to
are always
Abstract.
open.
That's a good team.
It is. I'm actually
So-
casting one of their show matches tonight, so.
Yep,
Oh,
I know
nice.
they've been asking tons of people for show matches, so they might actually be interested. So go ask Abstract. But for now, we'll stop talking about that stuff. We'll just be getting on here. As again, thanks for joining us here tonight. Flip out, Keo and Lefix. Congrats on your win. Amazing rest of
Thank
your
you
night,
very
and we'll
much.
see you in the playoffs.
See you in the
Guys, have a
playoffs.
great night.
Love you guys.
As Taquito, man, what a fun match that was. How you feeling, Taquito? Is there anything you want to say before we'll end the stream, go to break, and we'll be back later tonight at 10:30 for that final match. Actually, while doing that final match will be Dynama Samurai, DNA, Ice B. So, and that'll be an exciting C1, C2 matchup. But of course, we'll be going to a quick break before that. Is there anything that you want to say before our night together is over?
I know that I have 2 matches in between the break we're having now and the one that's going to come up. So I am excited to cast my next 2 matches. But thank you so much, man, for letting me come on the stream and just. Like I said at the very beginning, Flip Out practically begged both of us to do this, so it's just been a lot of fun. You know, I love working with you, man. You know, it's always a good time, and it is just a treat to see like somebody like Flip Out, who you and I have seen for so long, playing in leagues like this. You know what I mean? It is like to play on the field, to run a league, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's fun to see how far somebody like him has come. So. I think that's what makes this just so much more enjoyable.
Yeah, I feel like this season, this for All-Star, is the season of teams who haven't made it to the playoffs in a very long time, finally get their like major outbreaks and their major opportunities to do it. I feel like last season was that way, but this season also feels like there's so many like players who've been around for a while who are finally going to be able to make it into the playoffs. I mean, you talk about like New Age Panthers, for instance. There's a lot of players on that team. I believe that is. I'm trying to think who's on the Panthers. Who's on Panthers this season? That was my old team. Who's on it now? I actually don't know who's on it now. No, that team made it to playoffs last season, fell in the top 8. Talk about Flip Out. He didn't make it to the playoffs last season, I believe. And he fell in the wild card, or did he make it? He made it last season. He did make it last season. Or 2 seasons ago, actually. And he fell in the top 8. When we talk about Swordfish Academy, that's Bromane, Cloffy, Aiden Eater, Lumini Zombers. Those 4 players have, I believe, never made the playoffs. And yet they're in the wild card now, having a really good chance of making the top 8. There's Team Ignition, who hasn't made it to the playoffs in a really long time. They're having a relatively successful season. Like New Jersey is back. They're having a good season. They might actually make a really good run into the playoffs in All-Star February 3. There's so many teams in here that like you look at them and you go, man, that's a good team. Soul Thieves is back this season. They could make it to the playoffs. They're in that final bracket.
Yes.
Akuma
Yes, that
is
team
in that
is
final
really
bracket. Demonic Phantoms. They want to repeat what they did last season. There's so many teams this season who are coming back, who want to play well, who want to do it. I mean, Yaz also in All-Star this season. They also have a good chance of making it. Bar Down is back this season. There's so many teams this season who want to make that final bracket. And some of them, and I think a lot of them are going to do it, where teams that haven't made it in such a long time are here this season. They're playing for it. That's, what's so interesting about this season. It's a season of players who haven't made playoffs, making it to playoffs, or players who haven't made playoffs in a while, making the playoffs, or players who want to prove better, who have proven more. This is a season for those players to show up, and we're seeing so many of them do that.
I completely agree with you, Big
Of course,
Dog.
obviously, though, it's the season that, the season after I retire, so maybe there's correlation to that.
But no, yeah, you're entirely right. There's just so many good people that are coming back this season, and we can only look forward to all of the amazing matches that we are going to see rounding off, like going into the playoffs. So at the end of the day, man, there's so much more to come. We're rounding off another wonderful, successful season of Skyward Series, and I can't wait to get into the end of January and the beginning of February when we get to see the 2v2 and the 3v3 finals. But for now, man, I gotta bounce so I can get this stream set up. Thank you so much for having me here, Big Dog.
Of course, and again, thank you to all in chat who have been watching this series and all of the other ones I've had in a while. Again, thank you all so much for joining here. Again, big thanks to Taquito for joining on. It hasn't happened in a while, but I'm always happy to see you. Again, everybody, we'll be live again tonight, but for now, we'll be off for a little bit. Have a great time. We'll see you again soon.